His voice carried the weight of a friendship that spanned decades, a bond built on mutual respect, trust, and shared moments of simplicity. His friend Nyoma was more than just a political icon, he was a brother. Bastos, who is originally of Spanish descent, vividly remembered the first time he met Nyoma.
One thing he impressed me one day, he asked me, Mr. Bastos, you remember when I met you? That was about 15 years later after I met him. And I said, of course I remember. And then he said, it was your father's day, it was the National Spanish Day, and this day we meet you and me. He told me that. I could not understand for a person who meets so many people every day, how he could remember even the day and the celebration.
¿Cuándo es ese día?
That it was the 12th of October. 12th of October is Independence Day.
Shortly after their initial encounter, Bastos invited Nyoma to visit his farm in the Namib Desert, a few kilometers from Walvis Bay. It was a simple invitation, but it marked the beginning of a lifelong friendship. The farm became their sanctuary, a place where politics took a backseat and they could simply be friends. The two would also go for walks in the mornings, sometimes fly over the desert in a helicopter, and talk about everything under the sun. It was during one of those visits that Nyoma said something that stayed with Bastos forever.
And one day I introduced him to some hunters from Poland. And I say, is the president of the government, Mr. Dr. Nujomo, a friend of mine. And then he stopped me and he said, no, Mr. Bastos, you and me, we are no friends. You and me, we are brothers. It was the first time that he called me brother.
Despite his status, Nyoma never distanced himself from Bastos and his family. He frequently visited, sometimes without formality, just to enjoy the company of his old friend.
He was a good shot, you know, but
Serious?
I was always behind. We were shot a leopard together. Yes, no,
Where?
in my farm.
At
Christmas, yes. 1.5 hours away from here, I got a farm, a big farm. And he used to love, but now lately his eyes were not so good, and so, but he was a good shot.
Bastos also shared that Nyoma was not a heavy drinker, but he would have 1 or 2 glasses of white wine as he believed it was good for his health. The warmth of their friendship extended beyond meals and conversations. Nyoma often expressed his desire to do something for Bastos, but the latter never asked for anything in return. Now in his twilight years, Bastos finds it harder to travel, and the absence of his dear friend is dearly missed. He also remembered the deep pride Nyoma had for Namibia. The last time Bastos saw Nyoma, there was an unspoken understanding that it might be their final meeting. Bastos described his chommie as a man of principle, a man of his word. Namibia lost a great leader, but I lost a brother, he added. He deserves peace, he concluded, adding he was a gentleman, a leader, and most importantly, a true friend.